Pull the rubber fold on your washing machine door back with 2 fingers right now. What's underneath is usually black, and that's not ordinary dirt. It's mold feeding on the water your machine leaves behind after every cycle. And every time the drum spins, it presses that mold straight into your clean laundry. Door seal replacements make up a real chunk of washer and dishwasher service calls every year. And here's the part that should bother you. In most of those cases, the seal was never actually broken. It was just never cleaned. You can spend $50 to $100 getting someone to walk in, look at a gasket, and tell you what a $1 bottle from the pharmacy aisle could have fixed the week before. Roughly 15 years ago, manufacturers started pushing washers and dishwashers toward cold cycles and far less water, mostly to shrink energy bills and meet efficiency standards. It worked. Your utility bill dropped, but detergent residue, body oils, and food particles stopped getting hot enough to break down and stopped getting flushed hard enough to leave. What's left behind isn't just grime, it's biofilm, a living bacterial layer that grips plastic, rubber, and steel and laughs at a sponge. That's the part most cleaning advice skips. People reach for vinegar or bleach because that's what every online list tells them to use, and both will kill some of what's growing in there. But vinegar is an acid, and acids break down rubber with repeated exposure, which is exactly why a growing number of manufacturers now warn against using it regularly on door gaskets. Bleach is worse for the rubber itself. It strips flexibility out of it over time, cracking the very seal you were trying to protect. You end up trading a cleaning problem for the repair bill you were trying to avoid. Hydrogen peroxide has been sitting in bathroom cabinets since the late 1800s, originally sold as a wound antiseptic long before anyone thought to pour it into a washing machine. What makes it useful here is almost boring chemistry. It's just water carrying one extra unstable oxygen atom that wants to break free. When that oxygen hits organic material, mold, biofilm, old detergent sludge, it tears loose and oxidizes it, lifting the film off the surface instead of just killing bacteria and leaving their residue stuck in place. That's the fizzing you hear when you pour it on something dirty. Once the reaction finishes, what's left behind is water and oxygen. Nothing toxic sitting in a machine that's about to touch your clothes or your dinner plates. The reason this isn't common knowledge has less to do with secrecy and more to do with how repair work is structured. A technician gets paid for the visit, not for telling you to buy a $1 bottle of peroxide and do it yourself. A diagnostic fee covers their time whether the fix takes 10 minutes or 2 hours, so there's no real incentive for anyone to hand out the shortcut. It's not a suppressed secret, it's just not anyone's job to tell you. Here's where it actually shows up, room by room. Start with that door seal you already looked at. Peel the fold back, clear out the hair, lint, and stray coins, then soak a cloth in 3% peroxide and pack it into the fold the entire way around. Walk away for 15 minutes, scrub with an old toothbrush, and wipe it completely dry. A damp gasket grows the mold right back within a few weeks. Top-loading machines skip the gasket but have the same problem under the tub rim and inside the fabric softener dispenser, so check both. For the whole drum, pour 2 cups of peroxide into an empty machine, run the hottest and longest cycle available, and leave the door open when it's done. That last habit does more long-term work than the peroxide itself. Pull your detergent drawer out completely and flip it over. The gray sludge on the underside is old softener and detergent residue, and it's why your dispenser stops flushing properly. Soak it in hot water with a cup of peroxide for 20 minutes and work the channels with a toothbrush. In the kitchen, lift the rubber splash guard on your garbage disposal and wipe underneath it. Then pour a cup of peroxide down the chamber and let it sit 15 minutes before flushing with hot water. Most disposal odor complaints trace back to this spot, rather than the drain itself. Slide the drip pan out from under your refrigerator, tip the standing water out, and wash it with peroxide and hot water, wiping the floor underneath while it's exposed. In the microwave, heat a bowl of water with a splash of peroxide until it steams, then pull the glass plate and roller ring and wash both. That ring catches everything that's ever dripped through it. Your dishwasher hides 3 separate spots. Lift out the lower spray arm and hold it to a light to spot clogged jets. Soak it in hot peroxide water for 30 minutes and clear each hole with a toothpick, then repeat with the upper arm. Twist out the cylindrical filter under the lower rack, rinse it, and soak it for 15 minutes. A clogged filter is one of the more common reasons dishwasher pumps get worked hard enough to fail early. Run a finger along the rubber seal at the bottom of the door too, since that strip sits outside the spray pattern and never gets touched by a normal cycle. For an ice maker that leaves your ice tasting like the freezer, pull the bin, wash it with peroxide and hot water, and dry it fully before it goes back. But never run peroxide through the water line or filter housing itself, and dump the first couple batches after cleaning. Last, check the low panel on the front of your washer for a small drain pump filter. Lay towels down first, because more water comes out than you'd expect. Rinse what you pull out, soak it in peroxide for 10 minutes, and screw it back in tight every few months to keep the machine from stalling mid-cycle with a drain error. Peroxide handles biological growth and nothing else. It won't fix a dead pump motor, a failed control board, a worn belt, or a broken heating element. And if a technician tells you a repair costs more than half the price of a new machine, that 50% guideline is a legitimate industry benchmark, not something invented on your doorstep. It just only applies once something has genuinely failed. One rule matters above the rest. Never mix hydrogen peroxide with vinegar, since together they form a corrosive acid that irritates eyes, lungs, and skin. Never combine either one with bleach. Bleach and vinegar release chlorine gas, and bleach and peroxide can react fast enough to release heat and gas inside a closed drum. Unplug any appliance before your hands go inside it. Every one of these spots is the same organism sitting in a different damp corner of your home. A fold that holds water, a pan that never dries, a filter sitting in a puddle. Once you see that pattern, you stop needing 11 separate fixes and start needing one habit. Anywhere inside an appliance that stays wet between uses, something is growing, and a $1 bottle of peroxide is usually the cheapest tool in the house for dealing with it. That's the kind of maintenance nobody teaches you until the repair bill already exists. So consider this the version that gets to you first from Hidden Fix Lab.